I guess we're not expecting you. You good? Ready? All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. An executive session was held in advance of this meeting to discuss personnel, contract, and legal matters. If everybody could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, we have a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, public comments on agenda items only. We have a couple online that I will start with here, and then we'll move to the crowd. First one we have is from a Bobby Lefevre in Watts Township. She states, I wanted to thank Mr. Albany for teaching social studies this year. My son learned a lot from him. Thank you for that. I'm sure he appreciates hearing your kind words. Next up, we have from an Anthony Brown in Marysville. I'm going to try to get through this whole thing here. He states, more time should be taken before an unqualified person is approved as a head football coach. There currently is a coach working with the players after school in the weight room. This is keeping the players engaged and working. If there are really no other applicants, that coach should be given the opportunity to take over. He has been putting in the work and is more qualified. With more time, the athletic director would be able to try new strategies in the search for a new coach. Currently, all that is done is a posting on the school website and a few emails to other athletic directors. These two methods apparently were not successful. There are other platforms that could be used for the recruiting of coaches, such as LinkedIn and Indeed. There are also other organizations, such as Eastern PA Football, that post coaching positions. These are just a few options. However, there are others. Before approving an unqualified person that only plans to stay for 1 year, please consider exhausting all other options. This may include looking into a co-op with a neighboring district. Currently, the girls' soccer team is in a co-op with Newport, and the program has been steadily improving. The players are also improving. If we are unable to find a qualified football coach, then a co-op with a team that has established qualified coaches would be better and safer for our students. This option should be considered. I understand the person that is being considered is a good, decent person. He has a quality vision for the football program and cares deeply about Susquenita students. However, what tangible skills and credentials does he possess that will allow him to successfully and safely coach high school football? Please consider taking a little more time to make a more thorough search and give our students what they deserve. All right, thank you for your comments, Mr. Brown. At this time, are there any public comments from those in attendance in the audience? On agenda items. On agenda items only. Please approach the mic, state your name and where you are from.
Hi. Excuse me. My name is Rick Gibney. I'm from Watts Township, and I believe that I am the unqualified coach that stands before you tonight. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time defending myself to that email. Tony and I, Mr. Brown, I'm sorry, and I have a history. I coached 8 years with the Susquenita Midget Football Association. Tony was my assistant for 4 of those years. When we made it to midgets, there was a head coach. Tony put in for the head coaching position. He did not get it, so he took his kids and went to the Cumberland Valley football program. So there is a history, and I understand why he's saying what he says. As far as my credentials, I did coach 8 years with the Susquenita Midget Football. The last 2 we took our teams to the Super Bowl, which includes the team of seniors that will be here next year. The coaching staff that I'm going to bring, I estimate 34 kids will be out as of right now, and I haven't done any recruiting yet because I haven't been approved. But of those 35 kids, 34, either myself or my staff have touched through the Susquenita Midget Football Program. That's one of my goals, is to incorporate the SMFA with us to build this program. He also mentioned I'm only here for a year. I'm not only here for a year. I'm here till we find a coach that has roots in the Susquenita community, loves this school like my coaching staff does, love the kids like my coaching staff does, and that will be here for the long term. I played under Coach Frank Snyder, and let me know when my 5 minutes is up.
I will, sir.
I played for Coach Frank Snyder, and he was here for 20-odd years, and that's the kind of coach we need. And I brought that up in my interview. That's what I'm looking for. If we find that coach, bring him in, and we'll teach him Susquenita, and we'll hand the reins over to him. But I didn't put in the first time the job was offered because I wanted that coach. But when it went back out, I had to do something. And before I did that, I met with 13 of the players. I met with 11 of the seniors and 2 juniors. And I told them, if you have any issues with with me coaching or any of my assistants coaching, go to Bill Quigley and let him know, and I will not put in. We didn't get that. Quite the opposite. We have a positive feeling from those kids. So one thing I can assure you all, that you will not find another coach that cares more about this community, more about this school, and more about these kids than me and my staff. Also, last year was probably the worst season in Susquenita football history. Just the fracture of a community that was very, very tight, close-knit was fractured. Whether you're on this side or this side, it doesn't matter. My job this year is to bring that all back together and give these seniors and the whole team a season that they can be proud of. So thank you very much for your time, and go Blackhawks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Am I
Sir.
able to speak to anything that was said in that comment from, or is this not the time to,
Let me
from
see
not
if
to
any.
Mr. Gibney, but to Mr. Brown then? Just something he brought up.
Let me see if there's anyone else first, and then is there anyone else on agenda items only at this time? Okay, it doesn't look like it. We. All right, we're going to move along to minutes. A motion to approve the minutes for the January 10th regular board meeting, February 7th policy committee meeting, and February 7th caucus meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. At this time, we will pass it over to Taryn, since she's flying solo over there while Leah's down playing basketball.
I am. Hello, guys. Happy February and happy Valentine's Day. Wow, how ironic that we decided to be a board meeting on Valentine's Day. Don't you all love each other? Alrighty, so it's been kind of busy around the high school. I like it. I don't mind. Mini-thon will be March 31st from 9 to 5. It costs $50 to participate, and there will be numerous activities for students to participate in. So if you have any high school students or know any high school students, donate to their mini-thons or even encourage them to participate. The annual Alicia K. Langer floor hockey tournament will be March 3rd from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. 12 hours of floor hockey fun. Right up my alley. Students are very excited for this event and are on the hunt to get teams together. The spring musical Cinderella will be March 16th through 18th, and I believe there is a veterans and seniors 65 plus show on sometime that week. Tickets are available for purchase, and you can look on the school website to find the link to order them. The administration has been doing biweekly ticket drawings to promote school spirit. Students can wear spirit wear or just behave well in school to get their name entered to a drawing that gets done on Friday mornings, and then they win like a little Sheets gift card. So it's a great way to kind of incentivize being happy to be in school, which I think is great. Our girls basketball team has a Tri-Valley semifinal game this evening, which is why lovely Leah is not here. We were winning when I went up at 6:50 to come here. So hopefully we're winning right now. So, and winter sports are wrapping up. Sectionals for wrestling is going to be in a week or two. Boys basketball, we beat West Perry at Chuckaduck, which was very, very good. I was there. It was a rootin', tootin', hootin' good time. Our bocce ball team finished strong. And how is Rachel doing?
So this Thursday or Friday are the Mid-Penn Plunge postseason championships. So she'll be swimming on Friday, and they are open to the public. So come on out.
Alrighty, love to hear it. I think that's all. But considering it is Valentine's Day, Leah and I had a joint idea. Because we thought, you know what, it's Valentine's Day. Who doesn't like candy? Okay, so I have a whole goodie bag right here, and I'm just going to hand them out. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, who's this? This is, someone lost their lollipop. Well, we'll find it. Oh, that's my list. Okay. Who's this? Dr. Fox. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, they're just going to fly loose, aren't they? That's fine. Here you go. You're welcome. Who else is in here? Mr. Fortelka. You're welcome. Let's just put the bag here. That might be easier. I think I'm okay. Mr. Black, here you go. You're welcome. And we made a little pun, so hopefully you like it. Can you give this to Mr. Ward? Thank you. Here we go. Mrs. Dr. Jones, not Mrs. Jones. Sorry. No, I just got a little too ahead of myself. Sorry. Well, she's a gem, so. Let's see here. Mr. Page, here you go. Oh, let's see who else here. Mr. Fry, you two are a gem.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. No, you're all smart, but I found these at the Giant, and I thought they were cute. Here you go, Mrs. Walborn. Everyone is a gem. Oh, who's this? Oh, yes. Mrs. Bowsball, here you go. Couldn't forget you. Because secretaries matter. Who's here? Mr. Quigley. Well, we'll find him. Who's this? Mrs. Wilt, she's not here. Dr. Rubish, couldn't forget about you. You're welcome. And I think the flavors are like a mashup, like a cherry lemonade and a cherry blue raspberry. So hopefully you find something that suits your fancy. Mrs. Kelly. Oh, let's see here. Mrs. Singley, there you are. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's see who else is in here. Mr. Carmo. Here you go. You're welcome. And if you want to trade flavors and if you don't like what you got, you can do that. We won't be upset. Mrs. Matosh, an essential part of our crew at the Nita. You're welcome. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm running. Let's see. Mrs. Snyder, here you go. You're welcome. I've only got a few more here. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Howe, you are an essential part of our crew, too. Alrighty. And then Mrs. Bressy, welcome back. You are a gem. Hey, she was my third grade teacher. And then Mr. Bard. And then I'll track the rest of them down. Happy Valentine's Day. That's all I have. Questions, comments?
Thank you very much. Just to expand on a couple things that you said, it looks like the Senior Citizen and Veterans Show is March 13th at 3:30, and the girls are currently in overtime down there in the gym. Unfortunately, it looks like they might be down a couple points, but there's still about a half a minute left. And you briefly mentioned bocce ball. I just have insider information because my kid's on the team. They made the playoffs for bocce ball in their inaugural season, and that is occurring next Wednesday, the 22nd, down at Lower Dolphin.
Mr. Fry, can I just add that veteran show is free? It's free for veterans and seniors.
Yes, thank you. I should have mentioned that. Appreciate that. Okay, moving right along, we're going to make mention of some treasurer's reports there under 7A, and then we have a motion to approve payment of orders for insurance check and wire transfers for $326,995.40. The general fund prepaid list 1 for $110,484.33. General fund prepaid list 2 for $137,859.43, and the general fund check summary for $571,833.59.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Next up is a motion to approve the 2021-2022 financial statements and single audit provided by Trout CPA.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Was that in opposition? No? Okay, all right, just checking. All right, hearing none, motion carries. All right, next up is related to the CPCTC budget, a motion to approve the Cumberland Perry Career and Technical Center budget for the 2023-2024 school year, which reflects a contribution from Susquenita School District in the amount of $465,529, which is a 1.79% decrease from the previous school year.
So moved.
Second.
At this time, is there any discussion on that? Okay, at this time, Dee is going to take a roll call vote.
Mrs. Stingley?
Yes.
Dr. Rubish?
Yes.
Mr. Carmel?
Yes.
Mr. Lehman?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Walborn?
Yes.
Dr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Fry?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next up, we're going to try to move 8A through I will start again. A motion to approve the following personnel matters, 8A through L.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm good.
I'm just want to make a comment that I'm pleased to see so many new student custodians.
I saw that as well, yes. Anyone opposed?
I just have a quick question.
Any further discussion?
So how do we, or why do we have to approve a vacant position? Are we,
I believe, you want to go?
I think that's just a placeholder to show that there is a vacancy there. and there is. So if anybody is interested, there is a track and field assistant coach position with looking for somebody in particular with a knowledge and interest in pole vault, long jump, triple jump, high jump.
Thank you.
Let's not all jump at once.
All right. Is there any opposed?
I vote no to A2.
D, if you could please.
What is it again?
A2.
Oh, all the way up here. Oh, okay.
Excuse me, sir, nothing from the peanut gallery at this time.
I think in terms, just really quick, I think it's important going back really quickly and not to Mrs. Foy with her intent to retire after 34 years of dedicated service. Certainly, if Mrs. Foy is listening or watching, she certainly deserves us real quickly to give her a round of applause for 34 dedicated years. Thank you.
I move to amend 8B and amend it that we say that we accept Mrs. Foy's resignation with regrets. Need a second.
I will second that. Any opposed? All right.
I don't think you can second it.
No?
The people who started have to change it. Or you have to go back and start over.
Yeah, so I amend my,
I'll amend mine also. Excellent.
Okay. All right. Is there any discussion on that? Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, that motion carries. If D, you could make note of that. All right, back to just making sure we have no opposition on final passage of 8A through L. All right, hearing none, motion carries. On to 9, a motion to approve the contract service agreement for Miss Ellen Nelson for contracted school psychological services.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Next up, a motion to approve the first reading of policy 208, withdrawal from school.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And now to Dr. Rubish for a Cumberland Perry Area Career and Technical Center update, followed by Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation.
Okay, on Cumberland Perry Career and Technical Center, I guess there is only one story. The vote to expand the building, expand number of programs. All of the districts have approved that except one. And probably just shouldn't say anything more after that. Just leave it at that. And there was no vote on it. They've deferred making a decision until April. I may have said this to the board members, but to share with everybody else at large, this year they had 1,000 students apply for 500 openings next year. It means we're going to have a lot of disappointed students. This project needs to be done. If anybody else is listening from that other district.
So, Dr. Rubish, just in clarification, they have not voted it down. They just haven't.
They have not
they've
voted.
tabled
They
it.
said they're going to vote in April.
Okay.
Moving on to the Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation, we've had some great things going on lately. If you follow us on Facebook, you've seen about the book vending machine, which has gone over real well. And today I posted something that they're running out of books for the book vending machine because they have so many kids that are getting it. Can you elaborate on that, Mr. Black, at all?
I know Kristen's giving out, Mrs. Davis, the librarian's giving out to the kids that are helping out with the book fair. We do the best of the Blackhawks every month, so we do a random draw. One kid from each grade level gets a token. So, I mean, if anybody's listening, the bucks don't come out of our budget or anything. They're paid for via Scholastic money. So when she has a book fair, she gets so many credits from Scholastic, the books come from there. So no one's really paying for it. It's coming from our credit we get from the book fair.
Okay.
Yeah, like the first one when you were down there was the kids that read the most teacher kids that are the biggest readers, the most avid readers, and they got a point. So it's a pretty neat little thing to see them come out.
Yeah,
We're excited about it.
yeah, it's gone over really big on Facebook. People really like it. We also sponsored the indoor track and field team this winter, and we had 2 athletes make it to this big competition in Lehigh over the weekend, where they only take the top 24 in the state in each event. We've had 1 student do that before. We had 2 this year, so that was good news. Mark your future calendar. June 30th will be the day of the golf outing this year. We're going back to Eagles Crossing in Carlisle. And one last thing. Almost. Okay. We know it's Valentine's Day today, and we know that there is at least one person in this room who fumbled the ball on this and been hanging out here in the building all day, trying to avoid to go home, and doesn't know what he's going to do with his sweetheart, but the Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation is here to save you. A jar of dirt. I mean, can you just imagine when you put this in your loved one's hands, the look that you will get? And you can look at it, you could say it this way. It says, honey, you know, flowers die, chocolates get eaten, got to dinner, you just put on weight. But this jar of dirt is like our love. It's forever. And for you, Mr. Bard, and you said last week you didn't have a Valentine, just think if you took one of these home tonight and stood on a corner in Hazleton tomorrow night and was shaking it around, I'm sure you would get some attention.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay, that's it.
I'm not sure I can follow that up. All right. Just a couple informational items there. Mark your calendars. Policy committee meeting on March 7th, caucus meeting on the 7th, and regular school board on March 14th. All participants are encouraged to attend. And now passing over to Dr. Fox for superintendent's administrative reports.
Thank you very much, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody. First, a special congratulations to the Blackhawk cheer team for their outstanding performance at the PIAA state cheerleading competition. They did a really great job, and a special also congratulations to Coach Warren and Coach Timchek for their leadership. Thanks to all the school leaders and teachers who conducted and allowed for our visit for the Susquenita High School that occurred for our Apple Distinguished School visit on January 26, 2023. A special thank you to our students, Taryn being one of those students, for showcasing their learning, and to Mrs. Matosh, Mrs. Troutman, Mr. Shepler, and Ms. Snyder, and Mrs. Falzerano, and several others for all of their work and dedication and presentation at that time. And it was really great for me the beginning to see, again, the students and what they were able to demonstrate, their abilities to articulate to these adults who came in and asked a tremendous amount of questions, and just their poise and their enthusiasm was outstanding. Congratulations to our winter sports athletes in wrestling, basketball, girls and boys indoor track and field, swimming, and bocce. As noted, bocce is certainly rolling in our first season. We're entering the playoffs. And congratulations as we continue in near postseason play. A special thank you to Mrs. Comp. Her leadership and drive is noted and appreciated. We wish her the best, and we're glad if she is leaving. Or we're not glad that she's leaving, but glad that she's certainly staying in our county. Greenwood is certainly getting a great leader and an even better person. Thank you, Mr. Fortelka, as well, for your leadership at both the high school and the elementary school levels. We appreciate all you have done for our students and our community, so thank you. Thanks to Mr. Bard and our business office team, consisting of Mrs. Karen Pinson, Mrs. Tricia Wisen, and Mrs. Tammy Feltenberger, for their continued efforts to redefine and refine our processes and procedures, and to Trout CPA for their continued support through the years as we got this audit finalized and completed. February is not just Valentine's Day, but it's also Career and Technical Education Month. Career and Technical Education provides our students with hands-on training that prepares students for college and career readiness. We're proud to have approximately 73 students, I believe, from our high school participate in the 20-plus programs at Cumberland Perry Career and Technical Center. A special thank you also to our Joint Operating Committee member, Dr. John Rubish, for all the support in preparing our students with the skills and knowledge needed for the dynamic and ever-changing global workforce. Thank you. Please note on your schedules, just a few FYIs, that we'll be having a scheduled half-day this Thursday, February 16th, 2023, for family conferences. Please check our website for dismissal information. Students will also be off on February 20th, as teachers will be in a professional learning day on February 20th. So students, you're off. Teachers, we're learning. With the weather event that occurred on December 23rd, we'll be making up the day on March 17th, 2023, and more information will be sent out closer to that day. But please mark your calendars. March 17th will be a day in session. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and hand over to Academic Operations.
Good
Ms.
evening,
Krista Snyder.
everyone. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up that last week from February 6th through the 12th was National School Counselors Week. So we spent the week honoring our 7 school counselors. We had a nice meeting this past Monday and a luncheon to honor them. So I just want to say, you know, they are just a great group of colleagues and individuals to work with, and we're very proud to have them in the district. Also, I will keep continuing working to promote kindergarten registration, so bringing that up again this evening. And actually, really exciting news that next Thursday on the 23rd is our pre-K night. So we already have a large group of families signed up to attend, and that starts at 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Tossing the mic over to Mr. Bard and Business Operations.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. I don't know what I was going to say. I didn't write it down. And this is the problem when you don't write stuff down.
You're too young for that, sir.
Dr. Fox and I are working on fine-tuning the board's budget books that we handed out to you guys last week. So we plan on going over that in further detail with you guys at the next caucus meeting. We were able to trim a significant amount of expenditures and duplicative budgeting in those books, and we hope to have a more coercive or a more comprehensive look at that coming up at the caucus meeting, as well as a more finalized look at the revenue picture as well coming up at the caucus meeting. My goal is to have a lot of the budget work, at least that I could have done before I depart and before Easter. I like to think of, even though I did resign, I appreciate all you guys, the entire board and the administration. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your commitment to the taxpayers and the community here. I mentioned this at the caucus meeting, but I want to mention it again. I will mention it every time I have a chance to. Your commitment to the taxpayers and the community is second to none that I've seen to build the financial structure that you have here, and doing more with less is phenomenal. And I think the community and the taxpayers need to know that, of all the board members that are sitting here, all 9 of you, and the 2 that are not here, that I have seen from Northeast Pennsylvania on the way down to here. So I just want you guys to know that, and so I just want to recognize you guys for that, and I think that is also embodied in Dr. Fox and the way he handles the budget as well, because as a superintendent, he does keep a tight lid on everything, as well as all the building principals that are here as well. So I want to thank everybody for that, and I can't do it all by myself, and they have done a great job at everything. So that's all I really have to say about that. And if you guys have any questions in the interim, please send them to us, and we will answer them as best we possibly can. So with that being said, I guess I will pass it to Mr. Howell for Buildings and Grounds.
Thank you, Mr. Bard. Spring around the corner, my crew was outside measuring baseball fields. Kind of scary. I didn't know what they were doing. I had to get out and check on them. Fields are looking great. I wish Quigley was here so I can tell him that, but both fields are looking great. This Monday, we have a few items happening since there's no school. We got some plumbing repairs. The head custodians are pulling all their staff in for deep cleaning. There's some items in the buildings that we need to address. So other than that, I'm proud of my crew. We're still a little bit short-staffed. They're breaking their backs. They're getting stuff done. So I think that's all I have. Any questions? See me at the end.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have too much for tonight. I saw a few faces from the board today here at the elementary school. It was a sea of pink, red, and white with our Valentine's party. I know when I walked in this morning, there was a pyramid of cupcakes. It's pretty scary that that pyramid disappeared somewhere throughout the day. But it's great to see just kids having fun. I think at the end of the day, we need that as much as we can. And there was a lot of fun that was had today. Just want to echo about our kindergarten registration. We do have a ton of families signed up. I'm really excited about the 23rd. It's a great opportunity for parents to come in, walk through the classrooms, get to ask questions, really have one-on-one interactions with us. That sign-up is on our website and our Facebook page, and you can always reach out if you have any questions, and the actual registration is coming in April. We do have parent-teacher conferences this Thursday, the 16th from 4:30 to 7:30. Now, this round of parent-teacher conferences is ultimately invite-only, so parents should have received an invitation for this. Now, this would only be coming if a teacher had an academic or behavioral concern that they wanted to meet one-on-one. There are a couple of new teachers that are doing more of an open house style, just more of a get to know you, but other than that, it is an invitation only. We just had our winter book fair. That was an excellent turnout. I really want to have a huge shout out to our volunteers. Just the sheer number of parents that came in on many days, just the number of hours there, the effort that they put forth really made that possible. Last Friday we had a great turnout as well, so really a great event to get kids and parents involved in our literacy programs. A really special shout out to Emily Book, Sarah Bear, and Jody Fruworth. They're putting on something called Breakfast Bites. And so what that is a bi-monthly professional development session where they're combining this idea of technology integration, some of our resources like Makerspace, and then turning it into more of a breakfast situation with donuts and things like that. So far the feedback from teachers has been tremendously positive. So this is an excellent thing that they're kind of putting together on their own time. So I really appreciate what they've been doing with that. And I want to echo what Dr. Fox said about Mrs. Foy. 34 years is a long time. I was going back and running some numbers, and the number that I came up with was approximately 800 students that she has had in her classroom at that time. And my guess is that she's had a number of children of former students as well. So a huge shout out for her. Obviously very big shoes to fill, but we appreciate all the time and effort that she's put into this district.